Hey guys, welcome to Yogalete. My name is Mary Grayson, and I'm so excited that you have entered this next day of the Core Challenge. If you're not familiar with the Core Challenge and what we're doing here, we've just been working on all different parts of the core, learning about all different parts of the core, and just why it's important for us in a day-to-day basis. Whether you're an athlete playing a sport, or maybe you're just somebody who's a yoga enthusiast and loves yoga or movement, you're in the right place. Today you might want a couple of blankets or pillows, just something to make yourself a little bit more comfortable as we work on extension through the spine. So extension through the spine, meaning reaching up and back through the crown of the head, through the tailbone, so kind of making that spine nice and long, is what we're working on here. But at the same time, still being strong through the core by drawing the ribs together, low belly in and up towards the spine, and pelvic floor supporting there. So we're going to be working on a pose called camel. And if you would like to start with me, we're just going to start in a nice, easy seated position. You can come to cross-legged if that feels better in your body. Maybe even sit up on a blanket or a prop if that feels better for you. Taking a moment, settling in here, letting your hands just drop, letting your body kind of get into the floor here. Coming towards stillness as we reach the crown of the head tall, slight tuck of the chin, long through the back of the neck. Maybe flipping your palms up, allowing yourself to receive whatever you need to receive today. Breathing here nice and slow and deep in through the nose, and slow exhales out. Calming the mind, calming the body for just a moment as we tune inward. Noticing what's happening in the body as we become still. Allowing the hips to settle, the legs to relax. Continuing with your breaths here, allowing an intention to come across our mind, perhaps listening to our inner voice today, noticing what we need, noticing what feels good in our body, noticing maybe where we need to back off a little bit. So just listening to ourselves, our inner teacher, and trusting that gut. Keeping the eyes closed or maybe blinking them open. We're going to reach the arms overhead and start to fold forward now over our legs, reaching the fingertips forward. Maybe here is comfortable, maybe pressing yourself forward is a little bit more comfortable for you. Just making sure you're keeping your low back nice and long, spine nice and long. Last inhale here. On your exhale, slowly make your way back up. And we're going to move into a side bend, reaching arms overhead. You'll take one hand down to the floor, reach your other hand all the way up and over. Thinking about squeezing through the oblique muscles here to really reach and get that nice bend, opening up through the side body. Breathe in, breathe out. One more round, inhale. And on your exhale, slowly return your hand back to the floor. Other hand reaches over to the side now. Maybe opening your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. Breathing into the side body. Last inhale. On your exhale, coming back up, you're going to interlace the fingers. You're going to reach the palms forward as you inhale and reach them up. Maybe gaze up. And on your exhale, hollow out through the belly. Draw it in as you press the palms forward. Chin tucks to your chest. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, pressing forward. Inhale to lift. And exhale to close one more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale to close. You're coming back to center. Hands can come down for just a moment, rolling the shoulders out. We're going to start to release our feet forward out in front of us, sitting up nice and tall. Just going to start slow here, moving the knees side to side, kind of pressing the knees towards the floor. Moving to the other side, again, pressing both knees towards the floor. And one more to the other side. And then we're going to add on here. Think about turning your body towards the back of the room as you move your legs to one side. Just twisting around as much as your body will allow. So once you get to the side, sitting up tall, getting that big twist, maybe gazing all the way behind your opposite shoulder. One more to the other side. Beautiful. Facing the front of the mat, bringing the hands in front of us. We're going to do just a little bit of core work here. So we're going to think about opening up through the chest and bringing the fingertips back. Hands can come underneath kind of the shoulder area, and then your feet will come underneath your hips as you lift up. So thinking about stacking the joints and being in a nice position here, but still pressing out of those shoulders. Maybe let your head hang back for a moment. Take an inhale, lift through the hips. On your exhale, you're going to lower down through the hips and then squeeze yourself into a little ball shape. Maybe bring your forehead to your knees. And then feet plant, hands come behind you, open the chest as you inhale and lift up. On your exhale, slowly lower down. Bring your knees in as you give yourself a nice big hug. We'll take one more. Inhaling as you lift up. And exhaling as you lower down. Squeeze yourself into that little ball. And then bringing the feet back down. You can cross the legs in front of you. You can come forward. Bring your knees underneath your hips, coming into a tabletop position. Once you get here, think about length through the spine. And then from that length, inner elbows face forward, shoulder blades start to squeeze together, tailbone and head lift. And exhale around as you push the floor away, chin tucks in towards the chest. Moving through cat and cow here, however it feels right to you. Right? Doesn't have to look a certain way, but just feeling your body here, noticing what's happening. Take a couple more rounds. And from here, two options, either making your way towards a child's pose, or as always, you can always come into a downward facing dog as well, whatever you like. Taking a moment, pedaling out your dog if you're there, or letting your hips settle into your child's pose. Pressing the hands down into the floor. We're going to start to take our gaze forward, moving into stillness. Take an inhale, look forward. On your exhale, get empty, and then make your way forward towards the top of the mat, forward fold. From here, halfway lift, inhale, think about your glutes engaging, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up tall, and we're going to exhale down into a chair pose. So think about length through the spine again, so crown of the head, tailbone moving back, all at the same time, core, ribs coming in, big inhale. On your exhale, straighten the legs as you fold over. Halfway lift, look forward. On your exhale, step back to the top of a push-up, plank pose. Big breath in here. On your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. You can use your knees if you need to. On the inhale, squeeze the shoulder heads back as you press the feet into the floor, cobra. And exhale, lower. Going to press through your plank as you inhale and exhale into a down dog. Now that is called a vinyasa, right? Moving through those movements, placing them in a special way. Vinyasas don't have to look a certain way, and you don't have to do them at all. So as always, you can come back to child's pose or any other pose that you need to. From here, look forward. On your exhale, travel to a forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up high. Exhale into a chair pose. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, look forward. Core engaged, step back to the plank pose. Knees up or down. With knees down, it looks like this. Elbows still go straight back, lowering down. Squeeze the shoulder heads back. Crown of the head lifts forward and up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, press through your plank. Exhale, child's pose or down dog, up to you. You're in the down dog. We're going to bring the knees down underneath the hips, coming into a tabletop position. On the inhale, reach your right leg straight back. On your exhale, draw it in, knee to nose. Inhale, press back, squeeze through the glute. Exhale, draw it in, one more time. Inhale, press it back. This time, you're going to draw it in, maybe come to your fingertips to step that foot through. Inhale, rise into a little lunge, reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Big breath in here. On your exhale, cactus your arms, squeeze your ribs together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. One more time, reach up. And exhale to cactus the arms, shoulder blade squeeze. Inhale, reach it up. This time on your exhale, you can push your heel forward if you need to, coming into a half split. Main thing here is you want your hips to be nice and square. Think about right hip drawing back and the left hip drawing forward. Maybe your fingertips can come down. Still reaching through the crown of the head here. Core nice and strong. Big breath in. On your exhale, rebend through that front leg. And you're going to inhale, rise up as we twist over to the right side. So right hand back, left arm forward. You can stay here, take a prayer twist. Elbow goes outside the knee, pressing the hands towards each other, almost trying to get your thumbs to meet your heart. Wherever you are, another inhale. On your exhale, gently return to center. Plant your hands underneath, back to tabletop. Other side. Inhale, left leg goes back. Exhale, draw it in, knee to nose. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, press it back. This time, drawing it in. Maybe come to left fingertips to step the foot forward, rising into a little low lunge. Big breath in as you reach the fingertips high, squaring through the hips. And exhale, cactus the arms, core stays engaged. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale to reach, last one. Exhale, cactus. Inhale to reach. On your exhale, hips will start to draw back as you press your front heel forward. You don't have to straighten your leg, but think belly and thigh connection. Okay, and then from there, squaring through the hips. Front heel drawing down into the floor a little bit. Couple more breaths. Good, coming back to center. Gonna lift up into your lunge. And we'll twist to the left. Left arm goes back, right arm forward. As always, you can stay or maybe take your prayer twist. Elbow outside the knee, pressing the hands into each other, the knee into the arm. Coming back to center, inhale. On your exhale, hands come to the floor. Step back into a child's pose. Knees wide, hips go back. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked. And then here we're going to come to a reverse namaste. So taking your elbows to the floor, hands can come to the back of your head. If this is comfortable, maybe stay here, allowing your side body to elongate as you breathe into it. Taking one more inhale here. And on your exhale, releasing your arms, looking forward, meeting these standing, stepping one foot forward and then the other. Coming into a little fold, taking a second, just swaying out your hips, maybe shaking your head, yes and no. And then we're going to slowly roll all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. As you roll up, rolling through the shoulders a little bit, and then finding your balance on your left foot. So finding the strength through the whole left leg. Right knee squeezes in. Maybe you flex that foot. Maybe bring it up a little higher. Maybe wrap your fingertips around it and lean back just a little bit. Pressing the hips forward, big breath in. On your exhale, pressing back through the right foot as you bring your hands to prayer at the center of your heart. Balancing on the left leg, warrior three, squeeze through the glutes here, big breath in. On your exhale, slowly lower the right toes down, lift through the back heel, and then reach the arms up tall into a crescent lunge. Now here, see if you can twist to the left side, right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, and then take your left hand towards your right leg as you reach your right arm up and back. Exalted lunge here. Big breath in. On your exhale, left hand comes up to meet the right, and we're going to slowly lower down through the back knee. Hands can come to hips as you lower down. Untuck the back toes. Now just for fun, see if you can press into that back shin. Become strong through this whole foundation here. And then see if you can balance, maybe lifting up through the left toes for just a second. Maybe take your arms out to the side like airplane wings. It's very humbling movement here, just for fun. Good. Coming back to center, press the hips forward into a little lunge. Last inhale. On your exhale, fingertips reach forward, tuck through the back toes, forward fold at the top of the mat. Take a second again, roll out the hips, shake them out, shake the head yes, shake it no. And then slowly roll up to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Rolling the shoulders a bit once you get there. Again, we're going to find balance, but on the right leg this time. So taking the left knee up towards the chest, squaring through the hips, and finding that strength here, your foundation. Maybe wrapping your fingertips around that leg and leaning back just a bit. Big breath in here. And on your exhale, warrior three, hands can come to heart as you press that leg back, balancing here on the right leg. Knee can be as bent as it needs to be. Big breath in. Exhale, left toes back to the back of the mat. Keep the back heel lifted if you can. If not, that's totally fine. Big breath in here. On your exhale, opening up to the right side. Right arm goes back. And then reach that right arm towards your left thigh as you reach the left arm up. Little balance challenge here sometimes. Big breath in. Exhale, right arm comes up to meet the left. Hands can come to hips. We're going to lower that back knee down to the floor. Once you get there, untuck the back toes, bring your hips back, and then find that foundation through the left side, left leg. Now, see if you can find that balance again, but on your other shin. So pressing into that left shin, seeing if you can maybe lift that right leg up, finding that balance there. And when you're ready, releasing into the lunge, pressing the hips forward, back glute nice and engaged. Big breath in. On your exhale, take your fingertips down, sit back into another child's pose, big toes together, hips move back. Take a few breaths, let your heart rate come back down. Last inhale. And on your exhale, come up onto your shins. So we're going to be towards the back of the mat now. You're welcome to take your blanket, your other blanket, and place it underneath your knees if that would be a little bit more comfortable, or a pillow underneath your knees. But now we're going to work on something called dancing camel. So this move. I love this move. It feels great in the body. I like to start with my toes tucked, kind of drawing in through my inner thighs, just gently. Glutes gently engaged, ribs come in. And then from here, I like to think about drawing my shoulders back, so rolling them back. Fists can come to the low back, and then elbows draw together. And this is about where we're going to start. Maybe you let your head hang back as well. Glutes are engaged to press the hips forward a bit, but you're extending up and back through the crown of your head, getting that bend through your upper spine. Big breath in. On your exhale, elbows squeeze back together. As you come back to center, take a seat back on your heels if you can, or just stay kneeling. That's fine too. Just let your spine neutralize, maybe kind of wiggle your tail back and forth. So that was a version of a camel pose. So now we're going to work on a little movement with the breath with that back bend. So dancing camel, we'll start with the fists at the low back. Right fist will come to the low back. Engage the glutes, inner thighs as you reach your left arm up and back. And then exhale, lower down, switching sides, left fist, right arm. Exhale, lower down. Core super important here as you move through these, reaching up and back, keeping that length through the spine. Ribs nice and engaged. Let's take one more each way. Last one. And exhale. Take a second, just kind of let your heart rate come down for a moment. Maybe wiggle out your shoulders, your tail. Alright, we're going to come onto a seat for just a moment, doing just a little bit of core work. You can sit on your blanket if you want to. And we're going to come into a boat pose. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to start by just leaning back, drawing the knees in towards the chest. But for this boat, I actually want you to keep your thighs and your belly connected. So it's kind of difficult. You can start by pressing your arms into your legs, and then your legs back into your arms if you like, or maybe reach them forward. It's really hard to keep that connection, but really, really drawing everything together. Maybe reach your arms up, squeezing your knees in. Keep that engagement through the hip flexors, the core. Big breath in. Good. On your exhale, bring your feet down, reverse table again. Shoulders draw back, press into the feet, into the hands, lifting up into that reverse table. Couple more breaths. Last one, inhale. On your exhale, lower down. Gonna cross your ankles, come back to the kneeling position, however that's comfortable for you. Okay, we're coming into a camel pose now, so option to stay in this position with your fists at your low back. Again, drawing in through the core, the rib cage, pelvic floor lifts. Staying here, drawing the elbows towards each other, reaching the crown of the head up and back as you bend through that upper back area. Maybe you feel like you can release your fingertips towards your heels and really puff your chest up as you press your fingertips into your heels. Glutes are engaged, inner thighs, drawing in here. To come out, hands come to the low back, core squeezes in as you allow yourself to come back out. Neutralizing the spine, just taking a moment, sitting up nice and tall, roll the shoulders a few times. Forward and back. A few more breaths. Good, and now from here we're going to have some fun. We're going to come into a forearm plank. You can bring one forearm down and then the other. We're going to stitch all of that back together that we just opened up. So bringing the feet back to the back of your mat, pressing down into the forearms, squeezing in through the rib cage, the low belly. Starting to move the hips from one side to the other, just about a few inches. Keeping that nice lift through the core, the pelvic floor. You can always bring your knees down here and do the same exact thing as well. whatever you prefer. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, almost done, 2, and 1. Walk the toes in, keep the forearms down. If this is okay for you, dolphin pose. So it's like a down dog, but your forearms are on the ground now. Pressing the arms down and forward, bringing the head back by the biceps. Last inhale. We'll meet with the knees down on the exhale, sitting the hips back into the child's pose. This time walk your hands to the right side. Stack your left hand on top of the right if that works for you. Folding over the right thigh. Try to keep your left hip grounded. And walking the hands to the left side. Stacking right hand on top of left. Pulling the right hip back. Coming back to the center. You can take yourself up to kneeling. Sit your blanket out in front of you as we come into a seated fold. Or you can sit up on your blanket and fold it up a little higher if you would like I'm going to do. So once you get up onto your seat, you're going to straighten your legs out in front of you. And then from here, you're going to think about sitting your tailbone back as you reach your chest forward towards your toes. So nice long spine here. And this is as far as you have to go. You don't have to try to fold all the way forward. Fingertips pressing behind you can also help leverage you forward. But once you've gone as far as you can go, chin can tuck in towards the chest. Continue to extend through the spine. Take one last breath in. On your exhale, slowly rolling up, moving your blanket off to the side as we come onto our backs for the rest of class. Rolling your knees in towards your chest as you roll down onto your back. Open your knees wide and then bring your hands to the backs of your hamstrings and your feet kind of pointed up towards the ceiling, toes flexing back towards your shins. Maybe grabbing onto your shins here, drawing your knees down towards the floor a little bit more. Maybe you can reach the outer edges of your feet. Just keep those toes flexing back. That's important. Feel your inner thighs opening up here. One more inhale. And on your exhale, draw your legs back towards each other. Stack your knees over your hips, elbows to goalpost. Knees fall to the right side. Maybe you straighten out the top leg. Slowly rolling back to center. And let the knees fall to the other side. Maybe looking over your opposite shoulder. Coming back to center. And then taking the blanket, rolling it up, and placing it underneath your knees can be really comfortable. If you would like to take this and join me here for our final resting pose, feel free. We're going to lay all the way back onto our back. And we're going to start to actually kind of press our heels into the floor and then kind of move the hips side to side. So kind of feel like your tailbone's getting a little bit of a massage here. It might look a little bit funny, that's fine. But as you're doing this, I want you to imagine like you're swirling a cup of water. And we're going to take an inhale here. And on your exhale, you're just going to let that go. Completely stop. Let your legs splay out to the side. And as you do that, closing your eyes, imagining that cup of water and that swirling of the water starting to slow back down. So noticing that in your hips, any feelings in your legs as you lay here. Allowing everything to start to rest down as we take ourselves into our final rest. Focusing on your breath. Focusing on that water slowing down all the way until it reaches stillness. Noticing the water as it's still and peaceful. Noticing your body as it's still and peaceful. Focusing on your breath here. Feel free to stay as long as you like resting. When you're ready, you can slowly start to thank you for practicing. Namaste.